Okay, so this is the carburetor that came with the lawnmower. It sat so long, you know, it needs to be taken apart, basically rebuilt, cleaned up, and then it could go back on, right? However, when I was taking it apart, I don't know if you remember, I broke this little tab that goes on here, and this little tab is what controls the throttle on, you know, increase or decrease, fast or slow, and turn off. So that kind of means this is no good anymore. Now I could go and buy another one. They're fairly cheap, you know, on Amazon, eBay, whatever. They're really cheap. However, I want to try using this. If I could ever get it out of the plastic. It's a Mikuni clone carburetor, and it should look fairly interesting on here, and I think it will perform a lot better than the factory carburetor. Now it could come straight off, and that wouldn't be too bad, but I would kind of like it to go forward. You know, I think that would look kind of neat, kind of racy, sporty. But if I can't and I have to make it kind of come off, then I will build the necessary standoffs, adapters that I get in here where I can still operate the choke. Well, that's why it needs to kind of go forward, because of the choke. Or I could turn it this way. So in doing that, I have to cut this off, because this is part of the intake manifold. I could just take my grinder and cut this off. Gotta get rid of that. I don't need it anyway with this carburetor. And then I can make an adapter flange that would go to the existing with a 90 or even a 45, doesn't matter, and have this sticking out here like this. Or even if I came straight out, I mean, it's not bad. It wouldn't be ugly. But I think it'd be pretty cool. I don't really know how much more performance I would get from it, maybe a lot. I know these engines are governed, and I pretty much disabled the governor arm, not the inside governor. I don't plan on doing the inside governor. I'll just control, put a stop on it, and control the throttle, you know, to just where it cuts really nice. I think that would work good. You know, and it comes with the new air cleaner. It comes with some fuel filters, of course the gaskets. That's all always nice to have. Both sides, you know, a couple pairs. See, let's put the air cleaner on there. See how it looks. I think it'll be amazing. And I've read that it really helps the little breezy Stratton motors run really good. Let's see here. Okay, so I've tightened up the air cleaner on here, so we have it just as an example. I've got it here. I think this would look just really cool on here like that. Front would be better, but front would be harder because of the 90. I don't know if I could get a really tight sweep 90. I was thinking about using electrical conduit, 3/4 electrical conduit. That might be okay to use, be strong enough to hold the carburetor. It could work. I've got a point here I could always make a bracket off to help hold it, but I really want it to point forward. I really think that would be cool. And if it was sticking out the side, I mean, that's fine too. It still looks cool. But if we painted the shroud this anodized blue, that would be pretty cool. This whole thing would be out like this. Got the choke. Put it on, give it a couple pulls, we cut the grass, man. I think that would be so cool. I really want to do it. I'm excited. I'm excited for this, you know. I'm kind of glad I broke the carburetor. I was gonna start it, now that I fixed the pulse right, I was gonna start it with the old carburetor, but unfortunately it broke. So here we go. Now I'm pretty sure, like I said earlier, that this engine is governed. You know, they don't want it to go above a certain speed. It's got the blade on the bottom. You don't want it to become super dangerous. However, I don't see any reason why it's gonna have valve flow. You know, the valves are going to limit how fast the engine can run. I've experienced that with the Predator engines building for my golf carts, that the valve flow will limit the RPM. You know, it gets up in there and blah, 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 blah. You can hear it when it gets on the valve flow. So I'm not too worried about over revving it. I'll be able to tell. You know, you can tell by the sound of the engine if the valves are floating, if the engine's just too high, running too hot. I know it's turning a blade on the bottom that it'll be really interesting. It'll cut anything, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, this is gonna be a good project. Just got to get together and make that adapter to put this carburetor on it. I'm sure it's gonna run perfect. And with that too, I don't think the tank is gonna work the same way, because the carburetor will be the inlet on this carburetor is a little bit different. Let's take another look at that. The inlet on the carburetor is here. It's gravity fed, so the tank needs to be above it. So I'm probably going to have to either move the tank, build some standoffs, lift the tank up higher, which would work. And I could probably put this a little bit lower, but I would rather have it so that it's even, you know, so that the fuel will gravity feed to this. I don't think that would be a problem. I can make some standoffs and pick it up. Yeah, I'm excited. I hope you are too. This will be fun. Then, you know, once we have that done, we have everything all painted up nice and looking special, back together, carburetor in and running, must be running. Then we can tackle the exhaust. We'll take the exhaust off. I'll build a flange and we'll put another pipe sticking up, and I'd like to see if I could make a flapper that would go on top when it runs. Or it might be annoying, I don't know. Maybe I'll just put a muffler up there. A flapper to keep the water out. That's what it's for. So, yeah, I think that's great. This is the kill switch wire that's going to run up to the kill switch on the top. And we'll get a new spark plug for it. I mean, this is going to work. I'm excited. So, I hope you'll join me on the rest of my lawnmower build. Gonna have to get some parts. It takes some time to do it. To make these flanges is not easy. It's gonna take some time in the garage. And this has got a special flange that has an O-ring seal on it. So I don't think that'll be that difficult. I just gotta make sure that I measure correctly and get that O-ring, or that opening where the O-ring goes, perfect, so that when I tighten it up, it'll seal really nice on there. Other than that, it's just a lot of cleanup. Probably clean up the coil a little bit. Once it's running good and proves itself, we will tackle the casing. You know, it needs to be wire brushed, grind down, get the tensor off of it, and re-preserve it. Make it look nice again. Like I said earlier, clean the basket and work on controls to control that carburetor. That carburetor uses different controls than what I have. Something similar to a motorcycle. So I'm gonna work on that too. So I'm gonna end this part of the video here, and gotta buy some parts, get them in, and we'll start the next part of it. Bye.